This is Stephen Reed. If you're hearing my voice right now, stay on this frequency. 91.48 FM. I'm broadcasting from a secure location on the 47th floor of the Meridian Tower in what used to be downtown. The windows here are reinforced glass. The doors are steel. For now, we're safe. For now, I can still reach you. It's 11:47 p.m., Sunday night. The city below me is burning in 3 separate locations that I can see from here. The power grid is holding in sections, flickering in others. I can see street lights still operating in the financial district, but everything east of Riverside has gone completely dark. My assistant Emily is here with me. She's monitoring the phone lines, emergency channels, what's left of the internet. We have generator backup that should last us 72 hours, maybe more if we're conservative. We have water, we have supply, we have this microphone, and as long as I'm breathing, I'm going to keep talking to you. I need you to understand something right now. This is not a test. This is not a drill. What I'm about to tell you is happening in real time across this city, across this state, possibly across this entire country. I don't have all the information. Nobody does. But I have enough to know that everything has changed in the last 6 hours. The first reports came in around 5:30 this evening. Emily handed me a note during the evening news brief. Local hospital, downtown. Patients attacking staff. I thought it was bath salts. I thought it was some new synthetic drug making rounds through the homeless population. That's what we all thought. By 6 o'clock, we had 3 more hospitals reporting the same thing. Patients becoming violent, security unable to restrain them, staff being injured. The police scanner was lighting up. Every unit in the city was being dispatched to medical facilities. I remember thinking this was going to be a long night, maybe a big story for the morning show. Then the calls started coming in from residential areas. Home invasions, they said. Attacks. People described as sick or rabid breaking into houses, attacking families. The descriptions were consistent, aggressive, unresponsive to commands, unusual strength, biting.
Always biting.
Emily just handed me another update. The governor has declared a state of emergency. Martial law is in effect as of midnight. That's 13 minutes from now. National Guard has been activated. All citizens are ordered to remain in their homes. Lock all doors and windows. Stay away from anyone exhibiting signs of illness or aggression. The symptoms they're telling us to watch for: fever, confusion, violent behavior, loss of speech, bleeding from the eyes or mouth. If you see anyone displaying these symptoms, do not approach them. Do not try to help them. Call emergency services if the lines are still operational. I'm looking at the call board right now. Every line is lit up. Emily can't answer them fast enough. People want to know what's happening. People want to know if their families are safe. People want to know if this is real. It's real. I can hear helicopters overhead, military by the sound of them. They've been circling the downtown area for the last hour. I counted 7 distinct aircraft at one point. Now I can only see 3 sets of lights in the sky. The official story from the Centers for Disease Control is that we're experiencing an outbreak of an unknown pathogen. They're calling it a hemorrhagic fever with neurological complications. They're saying it spreads through direct contact with infected bodily fluids, primarily through bites or scratches. They're saying they're working on identifying the exact nature of the disease. They're not saying the word that everyone is thinking, but I'm going to say it because I think you deserve the truth. The people who are attacking others, the ones the police are trying to contain, the patients who went violent in the hospitals, they're not acting like people anymore. The reports I'm getting, the things Emily is hearing on these calls, the footage that's coming through on the emergency feeds, these people are acting like something else entirely. I've been in broadcasting for 23 years. I've covered hurricanes, riots, terrorist attacks, mass shootings. I've seen humanity at its worst. But I've never seen anything like the video footage that just came through on the emergency network feed. The traffic camera on Highway 7. A car accident, multiple vehicles, people getting out of their cars and then people running toward them. Not running for help, running at them the way they moved. It wasn't right. They didn't move like injured people or panicked people. They moved with purpose, but without coordination. Jerky. Wrong. The people from the cars tried to run. Some of them made it back to their vehicles, others didn't. And when those attackers caught them, what happened next? I can't describe it in detail. This is still a public broadcast, but it was violent, it was brutal, and it was fast. Emily just received confirmation that all highways leading out of the city have been blocked by military checkpoints. Nobody in, nobody out. They're calling it a quarantine perimeter. If you're inside the city limits right now, you're staying here until further notice. I know some of you are thinking about running, about taking your families and trying to get past those checkpoints. Don't. I'm hearing reports that the military has been authorized to use lethal force to maintain the quarantine. They're not going to let anyone through. They can't risk this spreading beyond the city. That means we're on our own here. 3 million people locked inside a geographic boundary, dealing with something that nobody fully understands yet. The mayor's office released a statement 20 minutes ago. I'm going to read it to you exactly as it was sent to us. All residents are advised to shelter in place immediately. Secure your homes. Do not open doors to anyone you cannot positively identify. Avoid all contact with individuals showing signs of illness. Emergency services are responding to critical situations but may experience significant delays. Updates will be provided as information becomes available. Remain calm. Follow all instructions from law enforcement and military personnel. Remain calm. That's what they're asking of us. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm having a hard time with that myself. I can see smoke rising from at least 6 different locations now. I can hear sirens, constant sirens, overlapping each other until they become one continuous wail. I can hear what sounds like gunfire, distant but persistent, coming from the industrial district. Emily is on the phone with someone from the fire department. She's shaking her head. They're not responding to most calls. They're only going out for structure fires that threaten to spread to multiple buildings. Single-family homes, apartments, even small commercial fires, they're being left to burn. There aren't enough crews, and the ones that are still working are being escorted by armed police. A firefighter was attacked 2 hours ago while responding to a house fire on Maple Street. The homeowner, who had called 911 reporting the fire, attacked the crew when they arrived. 3 firefighters injured. 1 critically. That crew is no longer in service. I'm getting a message now from the police department liaison. They're asking all media outlets to broadcast a specific warning. I'll read this directly. Do not attempt to rescue or assist individuals who appear injured or in distress on the streets. Repeat, do not leave your secure location to render aid. What appears to be a person in need of help may be infected and extremely dangerous. If you witness someone in distress, report the location to authorities, but do not approach. That goes against every instinct we have as human beings, doesn't it? We're taught from childhood to help others, to be good Samaritans. Now they're telling us that helping someone could get us killed. But they're right. I've seen what happens. Emily showed me cell phone video from earlier tonight. A man stops his car to help what he thinks is an accident victim lying in the road. The moment he gets close, the person on the ground lunges at him. The video cuts off, but you can hear screaming. The video was uploaded 4 hours ago. We've tried calling the number associated with that account. No answer. It's midnight now. Martial law is officially in effect. I can see military vehicles on the streets below. Humvees, troop transports, even what looks like an armored personnel carrier moving down 5th Avenue. They're setting up positions at major intersections. I can see soldiers establishing barriers, directing the few civilian vehicles still moving to turn around and go home. Most people seem to be complying. But I'm watching one car right now that's not stopping. It's accelerating toward a checkpoint. The soldiers are signaling for it to stop. Warning shots. The car isn't stopping. More shots. The car is still moving. Direct fire. The car is swerving, crashing into a barrier. Soldiers approaching with weapons raised. They're pulling someone out of the vehicle. I can't see clearly from this height, but based on how many soldiers it's taking to restrain that person, I don't think they were just someone trying to escape. Emily has been monitoring social media. Most platforms are being overwhelmed right now. Facebook is intermittent. Twitter is barely functioning. But people are still posting. People are still trying to reach their loved ones, share information, warn others. One thing that keeps appearing in these posts: hospitals are no longer safe. Multiple reports of hospitals being overrun. St. Catherine's Medical Center downtown issued an evacuation order an hour ago. The entire facility is being abandoned. Staff and patients who can walk are being told to leave. Those who can't, I don't know what's happening to them. There's a video circulating, supposedly from inside St. Catherine's emergency room. I'm not going to describe it in detail, but it shows why they evacuated. The infected patients aren't staying in their beds. They're not responding to sedation. Restraints aren't holding them. And when they break free, they attack anyone near them. Healthcare workers, other patients, visitors. It doesn't matter. What's particularly disturbing is that some of the people being attacked are becoming attackers themselves within hours. Sometimes within minutes. This disease, this infection, whatever it is, it works fast. The CDC is calling for any medical professionals with information about the incubation period to report to designated collection centers. They need data. They need to understand how this spreads, how quickly it progresses, if there's any way to stop it once symptoms begin. So far, they don't have answers to any of those questions. I'm looking at a map Emily just handed me. She's been marking locations where attacks have been reported. The pattern is concerning. It started in the downtown area near the old meatpacking district. That's where the first hospital reports originated. From there, it spread outward in roughly concentric circles. But now we're seeing new clusters appearing in areas that shouldn't have been reached yet. The airport, the university campus, the northern suburbs. It's like the infection jumped or there were multiple starting points we didn't identify. The airport has been shut down, all flights canceled. The last commercial aircraft took off at 8:15 p.m. before anyone realized how serious this was. That plane was heading to Chicago. I wonder if it landed. I wonder if anyone on board was infected. God, what if this isn't just our city? What if this is happening everywhere? Emily is pulling up news feeds from other cities. We still have internet access, though it's getting slower. Let me see what's happening elsewhere. In Chicago, there are reports of unusual emergency room activity. Increased violence. Nothing like what we're experiencing. Not yet. But the pattern looks familiar. New York, similar reports. Started about 2 hours ago. Los Angeles. Same thing. This isn't just us. This is spreading. This is everywhere. I need to take a breath. I need you to take a breath with me. If you're listening to this, if you're safe right now, stay that way. Don't panic. Panic gets people killed. I've seen it in every disaster I've ever covered. The people who survive are the ones who stay calm, think clearly, and make smart decisions. So let's think clearly together. Let's talk about what you need to do right now, tonight, to maximize your chances of seeing tomorrow. First, secure your location. Whatever building you're in, you need to make sure nothing and nobody can get in unless you let them in. Lock all doors, lock all windows. If you have wooden doors, reinforce them with furniture. If you have sliding glass doors, put a bar or a rod in the track so they can't be opened from outside. Check every entry point, basement windows, garage doors, pet doors. Anything large enough for a person to fit through needs to be secured or blocked. Second, gather supplies. Food, water, medications, first aid supplies. Bring them to a central location in your home, somewhere you can defend if necessary. You don't know how long you'll need to stay inside. Plan for at least a week, more if possible. Third, weapons. I hate saying this, but you need something to defend yourself with if things go wrong. If you have firearms and you know how to use them safely, keep them accessible. If you don't have firearms, find something else. Baseball bats, kitchen knives, tools, anything that can be used to maintain distance between you and a threat. Fourth, communication. Keep your phone charged. Keep a battery-powered radio. Stay connected to information sources. That means staying tuned to this frequency. I'll keep broadcasting as long as I can. I'll keep you updated with everything I know. Fifth, establish a plan with your household. Everyone needs to know what to do if someone tries to break in. Where to go, where to hide, how to escape if necessary. Have these conversations now while you're still thinking clearly. Emily is getting a call from someone at the National Guard Command Center. She's putting it on speaker. The voice is saying that they're establishing safe zones throughout the city. Schools, community centers, government buildings, places with strong perimeters that can be defended. They're asking people to make their way to these locations if they can do so safely. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Gathering large groups of people together when we don't fully understand how this infection spreads. It could be helpful or it could be catastrophic, but I understand why they're doing it. Scattered individuals in homes across the city are hard to protect. Consolidated groups in defensible locations are easier to manage, easier to supply, easier to evacuate if necessary. The list of safe zones is coming through now. Emily is writing them down. Lincoln High School on the north side. Jefferson Community Center downtown. The Convention Center by the waterfront. Municipal Stadium in the East District. The University Field House. St. Augustine's Cathedral. If you're mobile, if you have transportation, if you can reach one of these locations safely, they're saying you should consider it. But only if you can do it safely. Don't take unnecessary risks. Don't go out after dark unless absolutely necessary. It's 12:34 a.m. now. It's already after dark. If you're inside somewhere safe, stay there until daylight. That's my advice, regardless of what the National Guard is saying. I'm watching the streets below. There are fewer vehicles moving now. Most of the city has gone to ground, but I can see movement between buildings. Figures moving in ways that don't look right. Too fast in some moments, too slow in others. Erratic. There's a group of them on the corner of 5th and Market. I'm counting 8, maybe 9 individuals. They're not walking together like a normal group would. They're not talking to each other. They're just standing there, swaying slightly, like they're waiting for something. A car just turned onto 5th. Civilian vehicle. The headlights swept across the group. They all turned toward the light simultaneously. Exactly the same motion. Exactly the same time. That's not normal behavior. The car is stopping. The driver must see them. Reverse lights. Good. The driver is backing up. The group is moving now. They're running toward the car. Not human running. Something else. The car is turning around. It's getting away. The group is still pursuing for a moment. Then they're stopping. Going back to the corner. Back to waiting. What are they waiting for? Emily has someone on the line claiming to be a doctor who was working at St. Catherine's before the evacuation. She's patching it through so I can hear.
The doctor is saying that the infected patients exhibited total loss of higher brain function. No speech, no recognition of people they knew before infection. No response to pain in the normal way. They would continue attacking even after sustaining injuries that should have incapacitated them.
The doctor is saying they tried everything. Sedatives, restraints, isolation. Nothing worked. Once the symptoms fully manifested, there was no bringing the person back. They became, in the doctor's words, something that looks human but isn't anymore. The doctor is breaking down now, crying, saying colleagues were bitten, saying they watched those colleagues transform within hours, saying they had to run, had to leave people behind. The guilt in that voice is overwhelming. Emily is trying to get more clinical information, asking about the progression of symptoms, asking if there were any treatments that showed promise. The doctor is saying that in the early stages, before the violent behavior began, patients exhibited high fever, severe headache, confusion, and photophobia, that sensitivity to light. They would try to hide from bright lights, seek out dark places. As the disease progressed, the confusion gave way to aggression. The fever would spike to dangerous levels, but the patients wouldn't seem affected by it. They'd develop unusual strength. Their pain response would diminish or disappear entirely. Then the biting would start. An overwhelming compulsion to bite other people, to spread the infection. The doctor is saying the incubation period seems to vary. Some people transformed within 30 minutes of exposure. Others took several hours. They couldn't identify a pattern. Age, health status, location of the bite. None of it seemed to matter. One thing was consistent. Everyone who was bitten became infected. There were no exceptions in the cases the doctor observed. The call is cutting out. Poor signal. The doctor is gone, but that information is vital. If you're bitten, you will become infected. There's no maybe. There's no hope that you'll be the exception. You need to understand this. You need to make sure everyone in your household understands this. If someone you love is bitten, I can't tell you what to do. That's a decision I hope none of us ever has to make. But you need to be prepared for the possibility. You need to think about it now while you can still think clearly, because in the moment it happens, there won't be time for rational thought. I'm sorry to be so blunt. I'm sorry to put that weight on you. But you deserve the truth. You deserve to make informed decisions about your survival and the survival of the people you love. Emily is monitoring the emergency services radio. Police, fire, National Guard. The chatter has changed in the last 30 minutes. Earlier it was controlled chaos. Units responding to specific locations, reporting specific situations. Now it's just chaos. Units calling for backup and not getting it. Units going silent. Dispatch trying to raise units and receiving no response. The police department has pulled back to defensive positions. They're no longer responding to individual calls. They're fortifying the safe zones, protecting critical infrastructure, and trying to maintain the quarantine perimeter. Everything else has been abandoned.
That means if you call 911 right now, nobody is coming. You're on your own.
The fire department has completely ceased operations except for the crews protecting the safe zones. Everything else burns. I can see new fires starting in the warehouse district. Big orange glow against the night sky. Nobody is going to stop those fires. They'll burn until there's nothing left to burn. This city that I've lived in for my entire adult life, this place that was home to 3 million people this morning, is dying, block by block, building by building. It's dying, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. Emily just showed me something on social media. It's a live stream from someone barricaded in an apartment building. The person is whispering, trying to stay quiet. They're saying the infected are in the hallway outside their apartment, banging on doors, breaking down doors. The stream is shaking. The person is crying, begging for help, saying they're alone, saying they're scared. There's a loud crash. The door is breaking. The person is screaming. The phone is dropping. The angle is all wrong now, pointed at the ceiling. But you can hear everything. The sounds of struggling. The sounds of... The stream just cut off. I feel sick. We just listened to someone die in real time, and there was nothing we could do. Nothing anyone could do. How many more people are in that exact situation right now? How many more are going to be in that situation before the night is over?
Emily is pulling the emergency broadcast system alerts. There's a new one going out to all media outlets. Presidential address scheduled for 2 a.m. Eastern Time. That's an hour from now for us. The president is going to address the nation about the crisis.
Maybe they have answers. Maybe they have a plan. Maybe they're going to tell us that help is coming, that this can be stopped, that we just need to hold on a little longer. Or maybe they're going to tell us something worse. I don't know anymore. 6 hours ago, I thought I understood how the world worked. I thought I understood the limits of what was possible, the range of disasters that could occur. I was wrong. We were all wrong. This is beyond anything I could have imagined. This is beyond anything any of us prepared for. And it's happening so fast, too fast for institutions to respond, too fast for the military to contain, too fast for science to solve.
I'm looking at the city again. There are so few lights now. Whole neighborhoods are dark. Either the power has failed or everyone is hiding in the dark, trying not to be seen.
The helicopters are gone. The sky is empty except for the smoke. When did they leave? I didn't notice. They were there and now they're not, and I don't know when that changed. That frightens me more than anything else I've seen tonight. The helicopters leaving means the military has pulled back. They've retreated to the perimeter. They've given up on the interior of the city. They've given up on us. No, I can't think like that. They're regrouping. They're preparing for a larger operation. They'll be back. They have to be back. Emily is handing me water, telling me I need to drink. She's right. I've been talking for over an hour without stopping. My throat is dry. My voice is starting to crack. But I can't stop. If I stop, if this station goes silent, how many people will think it's over? How many people will lose hope? I'm drinking. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. The call board is still lit up. Emily is trying to answer as many as she can. But for every call she takes, 10 more come in. People are desperate for information, desperate for connection, desperate to hear another human voice. She's telling me about some of the calls. A mother hiding in a bathroom with her 2 children, asking what she should do. Emily told her to stay quiet, stay hidden, wait for daylight. A man who says his wife was bitten, asking if there's any cure, any treatment, anything he can do. Emily had to tell him the truth. There's nothing. The man hung up without another word. An elderly couple trapped on the 2nd floor of their home. They can hear the infected in their house downstairs, breaking things, searching. They want to know if they should try to escape or stay hidden. Emily told them to stay put. Moving would make noise. Noise would draw attention. These are the conversations we're having now. These are the decisions people are making. Stay or run. Fight or hide. Live or die. And we're making these recommendations based on incomplete information and best guesses. We don't really know what the right answer is. We're just trying to give people any chance at all. It's 1:15 a.m., 45 minutes until the president speaks. I wonder what there is left to say. I wonder if words even matter anymore. But they do, they have to, because words are all I have. This microphone, this frequency, these words, they're the only thing I can offer to anyone listening. So I'll keep talking, I'll keep broadcasting, I'll keep this signal alive as long as I possibly can.
You're not alone. That's what I need you to understand. You're not alone. Even if you're the only person in your house, in your building, on your street, you're not alone. I'm here. Emily is here. And we're staying here, staying on the air, staying connected to you.
Whatever happens next, we face it together. All of us. Everyone listening to this frequency. We're a community now. A community of survivors. And we're going to help each other survive. I'm getting information from the National Weather Service. There's a storm system moving into the area, expected to arrive around dawn. Heavy rain, strong winds, possible thunderstorms. In any other situation, this would just be weather. Something to plan around, something to complain about. But now, with the power grid unstable, with emergency services offline, with people hiding in buildings that may not be structurally sound anymore, this storm could kill people. The safe zones need to be notified. They need to prepare for people trying to reach them in bad weather. They need to have medical facilities ready for hypothermia cases. Emily is calling the National Guard liaison to relay this information. They're acknowledging it. They're grateful for the heads up. They're saying they'll prepare. At least someone is still trying. At least someone still thinks they can make a difference. I want to believe they can. I want to believe this can be stopped. But I've been watching the city die for 6 hours now, and I haven't seen anything that suggests we're winning. The infection is spreading faster than we can track it. The infected are overwhelming our defenses. The institutions we relied on are collapsing. The systems we built our civilization on are failing. And we still don't know why. We don't know where this came from. We don't know how it started. We don't know if it's natural or artificial. We don't know if it can be cured or contained, or if it's going to burn through humanity until there's nothing left. We don't know anything. And that ignorance might be what kills us all. Emily is showing me something on her computer, satellite imagery of the city from about an hour ago. The areas with power are shrinking. The dark zones are expanding. And in the dark zones, if you enhance the image, you can see movement. Lots of movement.
They're gathering.
The infected are gathering in large groups, hundreds of them, maybe thousands, just standing there in the darkness, waiting. What are they waiting for? What happens when they're done waiting?
I don't want to find out. I really don't want to find out.
There's been an explosion, south side of the city. Big one. I can see the flash from here, even though it's miles away. Mushroom cloud of fire rising into the night sky.
What was that?
Gas line, chemical plant, deliberate demolition. Emily is checking the emergency channels. Nobody is reporting it yet. Or maybe nobody is left to report it. Another explosion. Closer this time. East side. I can feel the building shake slightly. This isn't accidental. Someone is blowing things up. But who? Why? A message is coming through on the military frequency. Emily is decrypting it. Oh no, they're destroying bridges, deliberately destroying bridges to further isolate sections of the city. They're trying to create internal quarantine zones, trying to slow the spread by making it physically impossible for the infected to cross certain boundaries. That explosion we just felt was the Riverside Bridge. It's gone. The main connection between the east and west sides of the city is gone. They're not just containing the city anymore, they're segmenting it, breaking it into pieces. And everyone in those pieces, we're stuck where we are. This building is in the central district. That means we're cut off from most of the safe zones now. The ones on the north and east sides are unreachable. The bridges are destroyed. The tunnels will probably be next. We're trapped here. Truly trapped. Emily is looking at me. She's scared. I can see it in her eyes. She's been so strong all night, so professional, but now the reality is setting in. We might not make it out of this, but I can't let her see my fear. I can't let anyone listening hear it in my voice. They need strength, they need hope, they need someone to believe in.
So I'll be that person, even if I don't believe it myself. Even if I'm terrified, I'll be what they need me to be.
It's 1:47 a.m. 13 minutes until the president speaks. I'm going to patch that address through when it begins. You deserve to hear directly from the government. You deserve to know whatever they're willing to tell us. But after that address, I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. This is my city. These are my people. And I'll keep broadcasting until I can't anymore. Emily just got a call from someone at the convention center safe zone. They're reporting that the perimeter has been breached. The infected got through the barriers. Fighting is happening inside the building. The person is begging for military support, begging for evacuation, begging for anything. Emily is trying to reach the National Guard. The lines are busy. Every line is busy. She's not getting through. The person at the convention center is screaming now. The call is cutting in and out. Gunfire in the background, so much gunfire. And screaming. God, the screaming. The line went dead. The convention center was one of the largest safe zones, capacity for 10,000 people. How many were in there? How many just died? I'm going to be sick. No, I have to hold it together. I have to keep broadcasting. That's my job. That's my purpose. That's the only thing I can do that matters. It's 1:55 a.m., 5 minutes until the president speaks. I'm going to take these few minutes to talk to you directly, not as a broadcaster, not as someone trying to inform you or guide you, just as one human being to another. I'm scared. I'm more scared than I've ever been in my life. I don't know if we're going to survive this night. I don't know if we're going to survive this week. I don't know if humanity is going to survive this at all. But I know that giving up guarantees failure. I know that as long as we're still breathing, we still have a chance. I know that we're stronger together than we are apart. So whatever you're feeling right now, whatever terror or despair or hopelessness is trying to drag you down, fight it. Fight it with everything you have. Because the moment you give up is the moment you've already lost. We're going to get through this. I don't know how. I don't know what the world will look like on the other side. But we're going to get through it. We have to. There's no other option. The presidential address is starting. I'm patching it through now. I can hear the president's voice. Measured, calm. Presidential, talking about an unprecedented crisis. Talking about the full resources of the federal government being mobilized. Talking about cooperation with international partners. Empty words, meaningless platitudes. This is a speech designed to prevent panic, not to provide real information. Wait, the president is saying something about the military response. Full deployment of National Guard in all affected areas. Active duty military being mobilized to support containment efforts. FEMA establishing coordination centers. The president is saying this is a public health emergency of the highest order. All available medical and scientific resources are being directed toward understanding and combating this disease. The president is saying that early indications suggest the pathogen is transmitted through direct contact with infected individuals. Avoiding contact is the primary means of protection. We already knew that. Tell us something we don't know. The president is saying that safe zones are being established nationwide. People are encouraged to move to these zones if they can do so safely. Transportation will be provided where possible. The president is saying that this situation is temporary, that the government will restore order, that America has faced crises before and emerged stronger. I want to believe that. But I've seen what's happening in this city. I've watched it fall apart in real time. And nothing the president is saying addresses the reality of what we're facing. The president is asking for calm, asking people to follow the instructions of local authorities, asking people to look out for each other, asking people to have faith. Faith? In what? In whom? The government that let this happen. The military that's destroying bridges and abandoning whole sections of the city. The scientists who don't have any answers. I'm sorry, that's not fair. Everyone is doing what they can, but it's not enough. It's nowhere near enough. The president is finishing now. God bless America. We will get through this together. Stay safe. The address is over. Emily is looking at me, waiting for my response. What do I say? Do I reinforce the president's message? Do I tell people that everything will be okay? Or do I tell them the truth? I'm going with the truth. always the truth. That was the president's address. You heard what I heard. Now let me give you my assessment. The government doesn't have this under control. They're doing what they can, but they're overwhelmed. We cannot rely on them to save us. We have to save ourselves. That means making hard decisions. That means prioritizing survival over comfort, over convenience, over social niceties. That means doing things we never thought we'd have to do. I'm not going to tell you specifically what those things are. Every situation is different. Every person faces different choices. But I am going to tell you this. Whatever you have to do to survive, do it. Whatever you have to do to protect the people you love, do it. We can sort out the morality later. We can deal with the guilt later. We can process the trauma later. Right now, we just need to make it to later. It's 2:23 a.m. The storm is getting closer. I can see lightning on the horizon. The wind is picking up. The building is creaking in ways I've never heard before. Emily is monitoring structural sensors. The building is sound. We're safe here. For now. But I'm worried about everyone else. Everyone in damaged buildings. Everyone in makeshift shelters. Everyone exposed to the elements. This storm is going to be bad. And it's going to hit right in the middle of everything else going wrong. I'm getting a message from someone claiming to be at the University Fieldhouse safe zone. They're saying they have over 15,000 people there. Far more than the building was designed to hold. People are packed in so tight they can barely move. And someone inside is showing symptoms. Fever, confusion, aggression. They're trying to isolate the person, but there's nowhere to isolate them. There's no space. Everyone is on top of everyone else. If that person is infected, if they start attacking people in that packed space, it's going to be a massacre. The person is begging for advice. What should they do? How can they protect 15,000 people from one infected person in a space where there's nowhere to run? I don't have an answer. Emily doesn't have an answer. There is no good answer. All I can tell them is to get as many people away from the infected person as possible. Create distance. Create barriers. And be prepared to do what has to be done if that person becomes a threat. The person understands what I'm saying. The person doesn't want to do it. Nobody wants to do it. But they might not have a choice. The call ends. How many more situations like that are happening right now? How many impossible decisions are being made? How many people are being forced to become something they never wanted to be? This is what the apocalypse looks like. It's not dramatic. It's not cinematic. It's just ordinary people making terrible choices because there are no good choices left. Emily is showing me updated infection maps. They're based on reported sightings, emergency calls, and satellite data. The infected zones are spreading like a cancer through the city's geography. Downtown is almost entirely compromised. The financial district is lost. The residential neighborhoods to the south are heavily infected. The industrial areas are dark and silent, which probably means everyone there is either dead or turned. The only areas showing any kind of organized defense are the remaining safe zones and the military checkpoints on the quarantine perimeter. Everything else is chaos. I'm watching the streets below again. The group I saw earlier on 5th and Market is gone. I don't know where they went, but there are other groups visible now. Larger groups. They're moving with more purpose than before, like they're searching for something, or hunting. A car just came around the corner, speeding. Desperate, the groups are converging on it. The car is trying to avoid them, swerving, nearly crashing. It's getting through. No, there are more of them ahead. The car is surrounded.
It's stopping.
It has to stop. There's nowhere to go. They're swarming the vehicle. I can see them pulling at the doors. The car is trying to back up. It's hitting some of them. They're not stopping. They're not letting go. The driver's door is opening. Someone is being pulled out. I can see the struggle. I'm looking away. I can't watch this. I can't keep watching people die. But I know what just happened, and I know that in a few hours the person who was just killed will be one of them. Will be hunting. Will be killing. That's how this spreads. That's how it always spreads. Death creates more death. Violence creates more violence. And it keeps expanding, keeps accelerating until there's nothing left to consume. Emily is crying, quietly, trying to hide it, but I can see. She watched it too. She can't unsee it any more than I can. I want to comfort her. I want to tell her it's gonna be okay, but I can't lie to her. She deserves better than lies. So I just put my hand on her shoulder, let her know she's not alone, let her cry. Give her that moment of humanity before we have to go back to being strong. It's 2:01 a.m. The storm is almost here. First raindrops hitting the windows, thunder getting closer. The wind is really howling now. Power is flickering in some areas. I can see lights going out in sections of the city, then coming back on, then going out again. How long before it fails completely? Our generator will keep us running. But everyone else, if the power goes out, people lose their lights, they lose their heat, they lose their connection to information, to communication, to any sense of what's happening beyond their immediate surroundings. They lose hope. I'm hearing reports of looting, people breaking into stores, taking whatever they can carry. Food, water, weapons, medical supplies. The police aren't responding. There's nobody to stop them. Is it really looting if civilization has collapsed, or is it just survival? I don't know anymore. The line between right and wrong is getting harder to see. Emily just received an update from the National Guard. They're implementing a new protocol for the safe zones. Anyone showing any symptoms of illness, any symptoms at all, is being quarantined separately. If they develop the full infection, they'll be neutralized. That's the word they use, neutralized. They're going to start killing infected people officially, as a matter of policy. Part of me is horrified. Part of me knows it's necessary. Part of me died a little bit just thinking that thought. What have we become? What are we becoming? The rain is really coming down now. Sheets of water obscuring the view. Lightning illuminating the city in brief, stark flashes. In those flashes I can see them. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands. Just standing in the rain, looking up at the buildings. Looking up at us. Do they know we're here? Can they sense us somehow? Or are they just drawn to any sign of life, any hint that there might be someone to attack? Thunder is shaking the building. The storm is right on top of us now. This is going to be a bad one. Emily is checking the radar. The storm system is massive. It's going to be over us for hours. Heavy rain, damaging winds, possible tornadoes. Perfect. Just perfect. Because things weren't bad enough. I'm getting a call from someone at Lincoln High School, the safe zone there. They're reporting that the storm has damaged part of the roof. Water is coming in. They're trying to relocate people to other areas of the building, but there's not enough space. Some people are going to have to stay in the flooded section. And with the water comes cold. Hypothermia is a real risk, especially for children and elderly. They're asking if there's any way to get emergency supplies. Blankets, heaters, anything. But I know the answer. There's no way. Nobody is moving in this storm. Nobody is risking going out there. All I can tell them is to do the best they can. Keep people dry if possible. Keep them together for warmth. Rotate people through the dry areas so nobody is exposed for too long. It's inadequate advice, but it's all I have. The call ends. More people are going to die tonight. Not from the infection, from the storm, from exposure. From the cascading failures of every system we built to protect ourselves. It's 3:18 a.m. I've been broadcasting for almost 4 hours now. My voice is getting rough. Emily keeps handing me water, but it's not helping much. I'm tired. So tired. But I can't stop. Not yet. Not while people are still listening. Not while I can still help. Even if that help is just a voice in the darkness telling them they're not alone. Emily is monitoring social media again. It's getting harder. More platforms are going offline. Server failures, network congestion, infrastructure collapse. But the posts that are still getting through, they're desperate. People saying goodbye to loved ones. People documenting what they're seeing. People begging for help that isn't coming. One post keeps appearing, shared and reshared. If you can hear this, if you're still alive, head north. There's supposed to be a military evacuation point at the state border, 200 miles north. They're taking survivors out of the quarantine zone. This is unconfirmed, but it's all we have. Head north. Is this true? Is there really an evacuation point? Or is this just hope manifesting as rumor, spreading through social media like the infection spreads through the population? Emily is trying to verify it. Calling the National Guard liaison. No answer. Trying the state emergency management. No answer. Trying every official channel we have. Nobody is answering. Either they're too busy to take calls, or there's nobody left to answer. I don't know which possibility is worse. The post keeps spreading. People are seeing it. People are believing it. People are going to try to reach this evacuation point. 100 miles through infected territory, in a storm, with no confirmed information that anything is actually there. It's suicide. But I understand why people are considering it. Staying here feels like slow death. At least heading north feels like doing something. Like taking action, like having some control over their fate. I can't tell people not to go, I can't tell them it's hopeless, but I can't encourage them either, not when I don't know if it's real. All I can do is present the information and let them decide. So here it is. There are unconfirmed reports of a military evacuation point at the state border, approximately 200 miles north of the city. This has not been verified through any official channel. Travel would be extremely dangerous. The decision to attempt it is yours alone. I hope that's enough. I hope people make smart choices. But I know some won't. I know some people are already packing up, getting ready to run. I hope they make it. I really do. Emily is getting a call from someone at St. Augustine's Cathedral. The safe zone there. They're reporting that they're under attack. Large group of infected trying to break through the doors. The doors are holding for now, but they're not sure how long. The person is asking if the military can send help. I have to tell them what I've been telling everyone. The military isn't responding to individual calls. They're defending their own positions. Everyone else is on their own. The person is asking what they should do. They have maybe 300 people inside the cathedral. Women, children, elderly. Not many weapons. Not many people who know how to fight. I tell them to barricade the doors with pews. Move everyone to the upper levels if possible. Stay quiet. Wait for the infected to lose interest and move on. The person is saying the infected aren't losing interest. They've been attacking the doors for over an hour. They're not stopping. They're not giving up. I don't know what to tell them. I don't have an answer that will save those people. The person is crying now, praying, asking God for help. I want to believe someone is listening. I want to believe that prayer means something. But I've never felt so far from any kind of divine presence as I do right now. The cathedral doors are breaking. I can hear it through the phone. Wood splintering, metal bending, screaming starting. The call cuts off. 300 people, gone. Just like that. How many more? How many more before dawn? How many more before this ends? Emily is breaking down. She can't do this anymore. Can't keep taking these calls. Can't keep listening to people die. I don't blame her. I'm barely holding it together myself. I tell her to take a break. Step away from the phones. Get some water. Get some air. I'll handle things for a while. She's nodding, moving away from the call board, sitting in the corner, putting her head in her hands. I'm alone at the microphone now, just me and whoever is listening. It's 3:47 a.m. The storm is still raging. The power has gone out in most of the city now. Only emergency systems are running. Only our generator is keeping this station alive. I can't see the streets anymore. Too dark. Too much rain. But I know they're down there. The infected, the dead, the dying. I keep thinking about how this started just 12 hours ago. 12 hours ago, this was a normal city. People were going about their normal lives. Working, eating, sleeping, loving, living. And now it's hell. Now it's a nightmare that we can't wake up from. How does this happen? How does the world end in 12 hours?
Yeah, but I know the answer. The world doesn't end all at once. It ends piece by piece, person by person, choice by choice. And before you realize what's happening, before you can stop it, everything you knew is gone. I'm getting a message from the military frequency. It's encoded, but Emily set up automatic decryption earlier. Let me see what it says. It's an evacuation order. All military personnel are being pulled back to the outer perimeter. The interior of the city is being designated as a lost zone. No further resources will be committed to operations inside the quarantine boundary. They're giving up. They're abandoning everyone who's still inside. The message continues. At dawn, aerial surveillance will assess the situation. Based on that assessment, further action will be determined. What does that mean? What action? What are they planning? I have a terrible feeling I know the answer, but I can't say it out loud. I can't put that fear into words. Not yet. It's 4:02 a.m. Emily has come back to the board. She looks terrible, eyes red, face pale. But she's here. She's not giving up. We're in this together. Whatever happens next, whatever terrible thing is coming, we face it together.
She's showing me something on the computer. A message from the CDC. They've identified the pathogen. It's a mutated form of rabies, weaponized, engineered, not natural. This was made. Someone made this. Someone created a disease that turns people into mindless killing machines and unleashed it on the world. Why? Why would anyone do this? What possible reason could justify this? The CDC message continues. The mutation increases transmission rates exponentially, reduces incubation time dramatically, eliminates the possibility of treatment. This is rabies perfected as a weapon of total annihilation. And there's no cure. There's no vaccine. Once you're infected, you're gone. The CDC is recommending immediate extermination of all infected individuals. They're not people anymore. They're vectors for the disease. Biological threats that must be eliminated to prevent further spread. Kill them all. That's what they're saying. Kill them all, and maybe the rest of us have a chance. Emily is looking at me, asking me if we should broadcast this information. Asking me if people need to know. Yes, they need to know. They need to understand what they're facing. They need to make informed decisions. So I'm telling you now, this disease was created. This was done to us deliberately, and there's no cure. The only way to stop it is to kill everyone who's infected before they can spread it further. That's the truth. That's the horrible, unthinkable truth. And if you or someone you love is infected, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But there's nothing that can be done. The person you knew is gone. What's left is something else, something dangerous, something that has to be stopped. I know what I'm asking, I know how impossible that is, but it's the only way any of us survive. It's 4:28 a.m. The storm is starting to weaken. The rain is lighter. The wind is dying down, but the damage is done. I can see flooding in the streets below. Debris everywhere, buildings damaged, infrastructure destroyed. And through it all, they're still down there, still moving, still hunting. The sun will be up in about 2 hours. I wonder what dawn will reveal. I wonder if things will look better in the light or worse. I'm getting a report from one of the few remaining police units. They're at a checkpoint on the eastern perimeter. They're saying that people are gathering on their side of the checkpoint. Hundreds of people trying to get past, trying to escape the city. The military is holding the line, not letting anyone through. Orders are absolute. Nobody leaves. But the crowd is getting larger, getting more desperate. Some people are trying to rush the checkpoint. Warning shots are being fired. Some people are being hit. They're not stopping. The officer is asking for guidance. What do they do if the crowd overwhelms them? Do they fall back? Do they hold the line with lethal force?
I can't answer that. That's not my decision to make. But I fear someone is going to make it soon.
The report is cutting out. Sounds of chaos in the background. Gunfire. Screaming. Then silence. Another position lost. Another piece of the defensive line collapsing. How long before there is no line? How long before the quarantine fails completely? Emily is trying to reach other cities, trying to find out if this is everywhere or just us. The long-distance lines are down. The internet is barely functional. We're cut off from the outside world. We don't know if other cities are experiencing this. We don't know if the whole country is falling apart or if we're the only ones. We're operating in complete information darkness.
That might be the most terrifying thing of all. Not knowing, not having any idea of the scope of this disaster.
Are we the epicenter? Or are we just one of many? Is there anyone out there who can help? Or is everyone fighting their own version of this nightmare?
I don't have answers. I just have questions. Endless questions that nobody can answer. It's 4:53 a.m. I've been on the air for 5 hours now. Feels like days. Feels like years. Time has lost all meaning. There's only before and after. Before this started. After everything changed. I need to stay focused. Need to keep providing information. Need to keep being that voice in the darkness. Let me give you an update on the situation as I understand it. The quarantine perimeter is holding in most places, but there are reports of breaches and attempted breaches. The safe zones inside the city are under varying levels of threat. Some have been overrun, others are holding but struggling. Emergency services have effectively ceased operations throughout the interior of the city. The power grid has failed in most areas. Only backup systems and generators are still functioning. The storm has caused additional casualties and damage, though exact numbers are unknown. The infection continues to spread. The number of infected is unknown, but presumed to be in the tens of thousands. No cure or treatment is available. Prevention through avoidance of infected individuals is the only defense. Military forces are consolidating at the perimeter and abandoning interior positions. Communication systems are failing. This broadcast may be one of the few remaining sources of information. That's what I know. That's what I can tell you with any degree of confidence. What I can't tell you is how this ends. I can't tell you when help is coming. I can't tell you that everything will be okay. All I can tell you is that if you're still alive, if you're still listening, keep going, keep surviving, keep fighting. Because giving up guarantees you lose. And as long as you're fighting, there's still a chance. Emily is monitoring the eastern sky, looking for signs of dawn. She says there's a faint lightening of the darkness. The night is ending. But what will the day bring? More death? More horror? Or maybe somehow, some hope? I want to believe in hope. I want to believe we can survive this. I want to believe humanity is stronger than this disease, this weapon, this apocalypse. But I've seen what I've seen. I've heard what I've heard. And it's hard to maintain hope when all the evidence suggests we're doomed. Still, I have to try. For Emily, for everyone listening, for myself. Hope might be irrational, it might be foolish, but it's all we have left. It's 5:17 a.m. The sky is definitely getting lighter. Dawn is coming. The long night is almost over. I'm getting a transmission on the emergency frequency. Military, you're broadcasting on all channels. I'm patching it through. The voice is mechanical. Pre-recorded, it's announcing that at 0600 hours, approximately 40 minutes from now, aerial reconnaissance will commence over the quarantine zone. Based on the results of that reconnaissance, a decision will be made regarding further containment measures. All personnel are advised to maintain positions and await further instructions. The transmission is repeating, same message over and over. Containment measures. What does that mean? What are they planning to do? I'm trying not to jump to conclusions, but I can't help thinking about the worst-case scenario. And the worst-case scenario is that if the infection can't be contained by conventional means, they'll use unconventional means. They'll sterilize the zone. They'll eliminate the threat by eliminating everything in the zone, including us, including everyone still alive in this city. Emily is looking at me with wide eyes. She's thinking the same thing. She's asking me if I really think they'd do that, if they'd kill millions of people to stop the spread.
I don't know.
I want to say no. I want to believe in the sanctity of human life, in the value our government places on its citizens. But I also understand the logic. I understand the cold calculus of sacrificing some to save the rest. If this city is lost, if there's no way to reclaim it, if letting the infection spread beyond the quarantine boundary means losing everything, would they make that choice? I think they might. I think they probably would, which means we have 40 minutes until we know for sure. 40 minutes to make peace with whatever comes next.
I'm going to spend those 40 minutes doing what I've been doing all night. Broadcasting, talking, being here for anyone who needs to hear a human voice.
It's 5:33 a.m. The sun is rising. I can see it now, a pale light on the eastern horizon. The storm has passed. The sky is clearing. In that growing light, I can see the city. My city. The place I've called home for so long. It's destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Fires still burning in dozens of locations. Buildings collapsed. Streets flooded. Debris everywhere. And the infected. There are so many of them. More than I could have imagined. They're everywhere I look. Thousands upon thousands. Just standing there. Swaying slightly. Waiting. What are they waiting for? Why aren't they attacking? Why aren't they breaking into every building, hunting down every survivor? It's like they're dormant, like they're conserving energy, or like they're waiting for some signal, some trigger that tells them when to act. Emily is filming this, recording it. She says if we don't make it, at least there will be some record of what happened here, some evidence of what we witnessed. I approve. Someone needs to know. Someone needs to see what we saw. Even if that someone is just whoever finds the footage later. It's 5:49 a.m. 11 minutes until the reconnaissance flight. 11 minutes until we learn our fate. I want to say something profound, something meaningful, something that captures the weight of this moment. but I can't think of anything adequate. All I can think is that I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm glad Emily is here. I'm glad that in these final moments, whatever they bring, I have another human being to share them with. We've been through this nightmare together, and we'll face whatever comes next together. The sun is fully up now. It's a beautiful morning. Clear sky. Fresh air after the storm. The kind of morning that would have been perfect for a walk in the park, a cup of coffee on a balcony, a lazy Sunday with loved ones. Instead, it's the morning the world ends, or the morning it's reborn, or just another morning in a new reality we're all still trying to understand. I can hear aircraft in the distance, the reconnaissance flight. They're here. Emily is tracking them on radar. Multiple aircraft, flying in formation, circling the city at high altitude. They're assessing, they're deciding, they're determining whether we live or die. I'm watching them through binoculars. Military aircraft, unmarked, flying patterns that suggest they're taking detailed imagery of the entire quarantine zone. How long will this take? How long do we have to wait before we know? It's 6:07 a.m. The reconnaissance should be complete by now. The assessment should be happening. The decision should be being made. I'm monitoring all military frequencies. Nothing yet. Just silence. Waiting. Emily is holding my hand. When did that start? I don't remember. But I'm grateful for it. For that human contact. For that connection. If these are our last moments, I'm glad to spend them like this. Not alone. Not isolated. Together. A transmission is coming through, encrypted. Emily is decrypting it. The message is loading. It's stand by. All units stand by. Assessment is ongoing. Maintain current positions. Further instructions to follow. That's it. That's all they're saying. We still don't know. We still have to wait. The not knowing is torture. I'd almost rather they just do it. Just end it. At least then we'd know. At least then the waiting would be over. But we wait. What else can we do? It's 6:23 a.m. Still no decision. Still no word. The aircraft have completed their circuits and departed. The sky is empty again, except for the smoke. I'm looking at the city in full daylight now. It's even worse than I thought. The scale of destruction is incomprehensible. This was a thriving metropolitan area yesterday. Today it's a mass grave. How many dead? How many infected? How many still hiding, still hoping, still waiting for rescue that may never come? I don't have numbers. Nobody does. But it has to be in the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. And for what? Why did this happen? Who did this? What did they hope to accomplish? If this was a weapon, it's the most effective weapon ever created. It doesn't just kill people, it turns them into more weapons. It's a cascade of death that feeds on itself, growing exponentially until there's nothing left. Humanity built this. Humanity created the science, the technology, the knowledge necessary to engineer something like this. And then humanity used it against itself. We did this to ourselves. That's the truth that's hardest to accept. This wasn't an asteroid. It wasn't a natural disaster. It was us. We built the tools of our own destruction and then we used them. Why? God, why? It's 6:41 a.m. Emily just got a message from someone claiming to be at the northern evacuation point. The one that was rumored, the one people were trying to reach. The person is saying it's real, it exists. The military is there, processing survivors, loading them onto transport aircraft, taking them to secure facilities outside the quarantine zone. But the person is also saying that the screening process is intense. Anyone showing any sign of infection, any symptoms at all, is being turned away. Or worse, the person says they watched someone with a minor fever being shot, executed on the spot. No trial. No second chances, just a bullet and a body added to the pile. Is this true? Is the evacuation real? But the cost is that brutal. Emily is trying to verify, calling the contact numbers the person provided. No answer. It could be legitimate. It could be false hope. We have no way to know.
Do I broadcast this information? Do I give people hope even if it might be false? Even if reaching it might mean death?
I'm gonna share it. People deserve to know. People deserve to make their own choices. So here it is. There are reports, unverified, of a military evacuation point at the northern border of the quarantine zone. Survivors are allegedly being processed and transported to safety. However, the screening is extremely strict. Anyone showing any symptoms is being rejected. The journey there is dangerous. The outcome is uncertain. The decision to attempt it is yours alone. That's all I can responsibly say. The rest is up to each person listening. It's 7:04 a.m. We've been waiting for an hour for the decision on containment measures. No word yet. The silence from the military is deafening. Maybe that's good news. Maybe it means they're still considering alternatives. Maybe it means we have more time. Or maybe it just means they're being thorough, making sure they've considered everything before they commit to a course of action that can't be undone. Emily is exhausted. She's been awake for over 24 hours. She needs rest. But she won't leave the station, won't abandon the phones, won't stop trying to help. I tell her to at least eat something, drink some water, take care of herself. She nods but doesn't move, just keeps staring at the call board, at the lights that never stop blinking, at the people who never stop calling. I'm beyond exhausted myself, running on adrenaline and willpower and nothing else. But I can't stop either. Can't rest while people need me. Can't abandon this post while there's still a chance I can help someone. So we continue, both of us, past the point of endurance, past the point of reason, because there's nothing else to do. Because this is who we are. Because someone has to keep the light burning in the darkness. At 7:29 a.m., I'm getting reports from multiple sources about the infected. They're behaving differently in daylight, less active, more sluggish, like the sun itself affects them somehow. Is it the light, the heat, something in their biology that makes them less effective during the day? If this is true, it gives people a chance, a window of opportunity to move, to gather supplies, to reach the evacuation point, to do whatever they need to do to survive. I'm broadcasting this information immediately. If you've been hiding, if you've been waiting for a chance to move, this might be it. The infected appear to be less active during daylight hours. Use this time wisely. But stay alert. Just because they're slower doesn't mean they're harmless. Emily is getting calls confirming this. People who were barricaded all night are reporting that the infected who were trying to break in have stopped. They're just standing outside, not attacking, not trying to get in, just standing there. This could change everything if we have safe hours during the day. If we can move and operate while the sun is up, we have a fighting chance. But what happens tonight when the sun goes down? Will they become active again? Will they hunt again? We need to prepare for that. We need to use the daylight hours to fortify, to gather supplies, to establish defensive positions. Because when darkness comes again, they'll come with it. A military transmission is coming through. Finally, the decision. Emily is decrypting it. Her hands are shaking. This is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. The message is loading. It says, all military personnel are ordered to maintain the quarantine perimeter. No resources are to be committed to interior operations. The zone is to be contained but not sterilized at this time. Repeat, no sterilization order is being issued at this time. The situation will be reassessed in 24 hours. We're not being bombed. We're not being sterilized. We have 24 hours, maybe more. Emily is crying. Relief, exhaustion, overwhelming emotion. We're not dead. Not yet. We have more time. But 24 hours, that's all they're giving us. 24 hours to figure out how to survive, how to escape, how to do something that changes the calculus of their decision. If the situation doesn't improve, if the infection continues to spread, if there's no hope of reclaiming the zone, they'll sterilize it. They'll kill everyone and everything to prevent the spread. We have one day to matter, one day to make a difference, one day to live. I'm back on the microphone. I'm telling everyone listening, we have 24 hours. The military is giving us 24 hours before they make a final decision. Use this time. Do whatever you need to do. Reach the evacuation point. Fortify your position. Make peace with what's happened. Whatever you need, do it now. It's 7:52 a.m. The sun is climbing higher. The city is fully visible in the daylight, and it's heartbreaking. I can see bodies in the streets, hundreds of them, maybe thousands, just lying there where they fell. Nobody to collect them, nobody to bury them, nobody to mourn them. I can see the infected scattered throughout the city, not in large groups anymore. Individuals or small clusters, standing in shadows, swaying, dormant. I can see a few survivors moving carefully through the streets, staying in the open, avoiding the shadows where the infected hide, gathering supplies, trying to reach safety. Some of them will make it, some of them won't. But they're trying, they're fighting, they're refusing to give up.
That's what humanity looks like. Not the infected, not the dead. Those survivors, those fighters, those people who refuse to accept defeat.
That's who we are. That's who we've always been. We're survivors. We endure, we adapt, we overcome. This plague might kill most of us. It might destroy our cities, our civilizations, our way of life. But it won't kill all of us. It won't destroy humanity itself. We'll survive. Somehow. We always do.
Emily is showing me something on social media. It's spreading fast. A message from someone claiming to be a scientist who worked on the pathogen's development.
The message says this was an accident, a containment failure at a research facility. It wasn't supposed to be released. It wasn't supposed to leave the lab. The message says the facility was working on rabies vaccines, trying to understand the virus better, to develop better treatments, but something went wrong. A mutation occurred. A test subject became infected with something new. Something deadly. The message says the facility tried to contain it, but one infected person escaped. Just one. And that one person was enough. Is this true? Is this really how it started? An accident? A well-intentioned research project that became a nightmare? Emily is trying to verify the source. The account is anonymous. The message could be genuine or it could be disinformation. We have no way to know for sure.
But it fits what we know about the pathogen. Mutated rabies. Weaponized, but maybe not intentionally. A cautionary tale about the dangers of scientific research without adequate safety measures.
If this is true, it means nobody meant for this to happen. It means we did this to ourselves through negligence, through hubris, through the arrogant belief that we could control nature. And nature proved us wrong, catastrophically wrong. It's 8:23 a.m. I've been broadcasting for over 8 hours now. My voice is barely working. Emily keeps bringing me water with honey. It helps a little. But I sound terrible. Hoarse. Strained, exhausted. But I keep going. Because people are still listening. Because they need to hear that someone is still here. Still fighting. Still believing that survival is possible. I'm getting messages from people who've made it to the northern evacuation point. They're confirming the screening process is brutal, but they're also saying that those who pass are being treated well, given food, water, medical care, then transported out by helicopter or cargo aircraft. The message is, if you're healthy, if you have no symptoms, you have a real chance of getting out. But you have to make it there first. And that's the hard part. The journey is hundreds of miles through infected territory. You need transportation. You need supplies. You need weapons. You need luck. A lot of luck. Some people are forming groups, traveling together for safety. Others are going alone, trying to stay hidden, stay quiet, stay unnoticed.
There's no right answer.
Groups are safer, but attract more attention. Individuals are harder to spot, but have no backup if things go wrong. Every person has to make their own choice based on their own circumstances. Emily is monitoring radio chatter from people on the move. She's hearing stories of success and failure. People making it through, people being overrun. It's random, chaotic, brutal. But some people are making it, that's what matters. Some people are surviving. Some people are escaping. If they can do it, others can too.
It's 9:01 a.m. I need to address something I've been avoiding. Something that's hard to talk about, but needs to be said. If you're injured, if you're sick, if you have any condition that slows you down or makes you vulnerable, your chances of reaching the evacuation point are extremely low.
I'm not saying don't try. I'm not saying give up. I'm just saying you need to be realistic about your situation and make decisions accordingly. For some people, the best option might be to find a secure location and wait. Hope that the situation improves. Hope that help comes to you instead of you having to reach it. For others, making the attempt might be worth it even if success is unlikely, because at least it's doing something. At least it's fighting. But please, think about it carefully. Consider your capabilities. Consider the risks. Make the choice that's right for you. And if you decide to stay, if you decide to wait, that doesn't make you a coward. It makes you smart. It makes you someone who understands their limitations and acts accordingly. Emily just showed me something that made my blood run cold. Satellite imagery from an hour ago. The infected aren't just scattered randomly throughout the city. They're gathering again, forming into larger groups, concentrating in specific areas. It's like they're organizing, like they have some kind of collective intelligence, like they're preparing for something. What happens when the sun goes down tonight? What happens when they become active again? What will they do with these large groups? Will they coordinate attacks? Will they hunt more effectively? We need to warn people. This isn't random anymore. This isn't just scattered threats. This is something organized, something planned, something that suggests these infected aren't just mindless anymore. I'm broadcasting this warning immediately. The infected are organizing into large groups. They appear to be concentrating near remaining population centers. If you're in an area with heavy infected presence, you need to move now. During daylight hours, before they become active again. Don't wait for night. Don't assume you're safe just because they're dormant now. When darkness comes, they will move, and they will come for you. It's 9:37 a.m. Emily is getting multiple calls from people reporting the same thing. The infected are gathering near their buildings, surrounding them, not attacking, just waiting. They know where the survivors are. Somehow, they know, and they're positioning themselves for the attack that will come after sunset. This is calculated. This is strategic. These aren't mindless corpses anymore. They're predators, and they're preparing to hunt. People are panicking, calling and asking what to do, how to escape when they're already surrounded. The only answer I have is to leave now, right now, while the infected are still dormant. Break through the groups while they're not fighting back. Get to vehicles if possible. Get to the evacuation point. But that's easier said than done. Breaking through a group of infected, even dormant ones, means getting close to them, risking infection, risking them waking up or becoming active earlier than expected. It's a terrible choice. Stay and probably die tonight, or run now and possibly die immediately. Some people are choosing to run. I'm hearing reports of people making breaks for it. Some are getting through, others aren't. The infected aren't completely inactive even during the day. They're slower, less coordinated, but still dangerous if you get too close. One woman just called. She made it through. She's in a car, driving north. She's crying, thanking me for the warning, saying it saved her life. I'm glad. At least one person. At least one life saved. That has to mean something. But I can hear the others, the ones who didn't make it, the screaming in the background of calls that cut off abruptly, the sounds of struggle, the sounds of death. I can't save everyone. I can't even save most people. All I can do is provide information and hope it helps someone. Anyone. It's 10:14 a.m. I'm getting a strange report from someone with binoculars watching the infected. They're saying the infected are communicating, not with words. They don't speak, but they're making sounds. Guttural noises, clicking, hissing, and other infected are responding to those sounds. Moving in response. Coordinating. This is far beyond what rabies should be capable of. This is something else. Something worse. The mutation didn't just make rabies more infectious. It changed fundamental aspects of behavior, gave them capabilities that shouldn't exist. What else can they do? What else are we going to discover as this develops? Emily is researching, looking for any scientific literature that might explain this. She's finding nothing. No precedent. No explanation. This is completely new. We're in uncharted territory, fighting an enemy we don't understand, with capabilities we can't predict. How do you fight something like that? How do you defend against an enemy that might be smarter than you think, that might be coordinating in ways you can't perceive? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's 10:52 a.m. I need to take a break. Just a few minutes. Emily is going to cover the broadcast while I step away. My voice is gone. I can barely speak above a whisper now. Emily is better rested. She can handle things for a little while. I'm moving to the window, looking out at the city, trying to process everything I've seen, everything I've heard, everything that's happened in the last 12 hours. 12 hours! That's all it's been. 12 hours since this started. 12 hours since the world changed forever. And we have 12 more hours until the military reassesses. 12 more hours to make a difference. 12 more hours to live. What can we accomplish in 12 hours? Can we save anyone? Can we stop the spread? Can we do anything that matters? I want to believe we can, but I'm so tired, so overwhelmed, so close to giving up. But I can't. Too many people are depending on this broadcast, depending on me. I have to keep going, just a little longer. Until what? Until we're rescued? until we're killed, until the military sterilizes the zone. I don't know what I'm waiting for anymore. I just know I have to keep going. Emily is calling me back. Something's happening. She needs me at the microphone.
I'm coming.
It's 11:08 a.m. Emily showed me what she saw on the traffic cameras that are still functioning, on the security feeds we can access. The infected are on the move, all of them. Even though it's daylight. Even though they should be dormant. They're moving. All toward the center of the city. All toward downtown. All toward us. Thousands of them. Tens of thousands. Maybe more. A massive convergence. A gathering. What are they doing? Why are they coming here? Emily is checking the building security. All doors are locked. All access points are sealed. We're on the 47th floor. They can't reach us.
Can they?
I'm watching them on the street below. The crowd is growing. More infected arriving every minute. Filling the streets, packing in tighter and tighter. They're looking up, all of them. Looking up at the buildings. Looking up at us. They know we're here. They know exactly where we are. And they're waiting, just like before. Waiting for something. Waiting for darkness. We have 7 hours until sunset. 7 hours before they become fully active again. 7 hours before they attack. What do we do? Do we run? Do we stay? Do we have any choice at all? Emily is saying we should evacuate. Get to the parking garage. Get to our car. Drive north while we still can. She's right. Staying here is suicide. When night falls, when they attack, we won't be able to hold them off. Not this many. Not organized like this. But if we leave, if we abandon the broadcast, what happens to everyone listening? What happens to the people depending on this station for information? I'm torn. Survival versus duty. Selfishness versus service. Emily is begging me now. Saying we have to go. Saying we did our job, we warned people, we helped who we could, now we need to save ourselves. She's right, of course she's right, but I'm looking at the microphone, at this station, at the work we've done here, and I'm thinking about everyone listening, everyone who's alone, everyone who's scared, everyone who needs to hear that someone is still fighting. If we leave, they lose that. They lose hope. But if we stay, we die. God, what do I do? Emily is making the decision for me. She's packing supplies, getting ready to evacuate, telling me we're leaving in 5 minutes, whether I'm ready or not. I'm looking at the city one more time. This place that was my home. This place that's now hell. I'm looking at the infected gathering below. An army of death waiting to strike. I'm looking at the microphone, at the on-air light that's been glowing for 12 hours. I have to make a choice. Stay and die doing my job, or run and maybe survive. I'm staying. Emily can go if she wants. But I'm staying. This is my city. These are my people, and I won't abandon them. Emily is arguing, shouting, saying I'm being stupid, saying it's suicide, saying my death won't help anyone. Maybe she's right. Maybe I'm just being stubborn. Maybe this is pointless. But it's my choice, and I'm making it.
I'm staying.
Emily is crying now, saying she won't leave without me, saying if I'm staying, she's staying. I tell her no. I tell her to go, to save herself, to survive. She's refusing, saying we're a team, saying we're in this together. I want to be angry at her, want to force her to leave. But I can't, because I understand. Because I'd make the same choice in her position. So we're both staying, both committing to this, both accepting what comes next. We have 7 hours. 7 hours to keep broadcasting. 7 hours to help whoever we can. 7 hours to make our lives matter. Then darkness comes. Then they attack. Then we find out what happens after death. But for now, we're alive. We're broadcasting, we're here, and we're not giving up. It's 11:34 a.m. We're back on the air, Emily and I, together until the end. I'm telling everyone listening what's happening. The infected are gathering downtown, thousands of them. They're preparing for a coordinated attack after sunset. If you're in the downtown area, you need to leave immediately. Don't wait. Don't pack. Don't gather supplies. Just run. Get out now while you still can.
If you're elsewhere in the city, use this time.
The infected are concentrating downtown. That means other areas might be clearer, might be safer routes to the evacuation point. This might be your best chance, your only chance. Take it. I'm getting calls from people asking if we're evacuating, asking why we're still broadcasting if it's that dangerous. I'm telling them the truth. We're staying. We're going to keep broadcasting as long as we can, as long as you need us. Some people are calling us heroes. Others are calling us fools. Maybe we're both, maybe it doesn't matter. All that matters is that we're here. And we'll keep being here until we can't anymore. It's 12:07 p.m. Noon. 12 hours since this started. 12 hours left until the military's deadline. Half the day gone, half remaining.
The infected are still gathering below. The crowd must number in the tens of thousands now. Maybe 100,000. I can't even estimate anymore, too many to count.
They're completely surrounding the building. Every street, every alley, every open space. Just packed with infected. And they're all looking up, all swaying in unison, all waiting.
It's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
This massive army of the dead. Silent, patient, organized. What are they? What have they become? This is beyond disease, beyond infection. This is something else entirely. Emily is monitoring the security cameras inside the building. So far, everything is clear. No infected have found a way in. The doors are holding. The windows are intact. We're safe for now. But when darkness comes, I don't want to think about it. Can't think about it. Have to focus on now, on this moment, on the people listening. Someone is calling, asking for advice. They're trapped in an office building a few blocks away. They can see the gathering from their window. They're asking if they should try to escape or wait it out. I don't know what to tell them. Both options are terrible. Trying to move through that crowd seems impossible. But staying in a building surrounded by infected when they attack, I tell them it's their choice. I give them the pros and cons as best I can, but ultimately they have to decide. They thank me. The call in.
Did I help? Did I make their situation better or worse? I don't know. I just don't know.
It's 12:41 p.m. The sun is directly overhead now. Hot. Bright. The infected are seeking shade where they can find it, huddled under awnings, in doorways, anywhere out of the direct sunlight.
They definitely don't like the light. It affects them, weakens them somehow. If only we could weaponize that.
If only we could keep it bright forever. But the sun will set. It always does. And when it does, they'll be strong again. Emily is eating, forcing herself to consume food even though she's not hungry, maintaining her strength. She's trying to get me to eat too. I can't. My stomach is in knots. The thought of food makes me nauseous. But she's right. I need energy, need to keep my body functioning. So I'm forcing down some crackers, some water, doing what I can. We need to be ready for whatever comes. We need to be at our best, even though our best probably won't be enough. It's 1:19 p.m. I'm getting reports from people who made it to the evacuation point. They're being processed, being loaded onto aircraft, being flown away from here. They're saying thank you, saying this broadcast saved their lives, saying they wouldn't have known what to do without us. That helps. Knowing we made a difference for someone, knowing that our choice to stay to keep broadcasting meant something. Even if we don't survive, even if this is our last day, we helped people, we saved lives. That has to count for something. Emily is showing me the infection maps again. They're updated every hour based on all available data. The infection has spread beyond the city now. Despite the quarantine, despite the military's best efforts, there are reports from cities hundreds of miles away, isolated cases, but they're there. The infection is escaping, spreading, growing. The quarantine failed. Maybe it was always gonna fail. Maybe you can't contain something that spreads this fast, this efficiently. Which means what's happening here will happen everywhere. Every city, every town, every population center. The whole world is gonna fall, just like this city fell, just like we're falling.
Is there any hope? Any chance at all?
I want to believe there is. I want to believe that humanity will find a way, that we'll adapt, that we'll survive. But I'm having a hard time seeing it, having a hard time imagining a future where this doesn't consume everything. It's 2:03 p.m., less than 5 hours until sunset, less than 5 hours until they attack. I'm trying to think of something meaningful to say, some wisdom to impart, some final message for anyone listening. But what is there to say? What wisdom do I have? I'm just a man with a microphone, just someone who refused to give up. That's all. Maybe that's enough. Maybe the message is just that simple. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Stay human. Even when everything around you is falling apart, even when death is certain, even when hope seems impossible, stay human. That's all we can do, all we have left. Emily is agreeing. She's saying that's what this broadcast has been about from the beginning. Maintaining humanity, maintaining connection, maintaining hope, even if it's false hope. Even if we're all doomed, at least we face it together. At least we don't face it alone. That's worth something. That has to be worth something.
It's 20:47 p.m. The infected are starting to move again. Not attacking yet, just shifting, repositioning, preparing.
They know sunset is coming. They're getting ready. Emily is checking the building security one more time. Everything is still secure, but she's found something concerning. There's a service entrance in the basement. It's locked and barricaded, but the door is old, weak. If they focus on that door, if they all push together,
It might not hold.
we need to reinforce it, need to block it better, need to do something. But it's too late. We can't get down there safely. The elevators might fail. The stairwells might be compromised. We're trapped up here on the 47th floor. All we can do is hope that door holds, hope they don't find it, hope we get lucky. Hope. Always hope. Even when there's no reason for it. It's 3:31 p.m. The sun is getting lower. The shadows are getting longer. The light is fading.
Soon. Very soon now.
I'm scared. I don't mind admitting it. I'm terrified. I don't want to die. I don't want this to end.
But I don't see how it ends any other way. Emily is holding my hand again. We're sitting here together, watching the sunset approach, waiting for the inevitable. At least I'm not alone. At least I have her. At least we have each other. That's something. That's everything.
It's 4:16 p.m. The infected are getting restless, moving more, making those sounds again. Those clicking, hissing sounds.
They're coordinating, organizing, preparing for the attack. I'm broadcasting continuously now. Just talking, sharing thoughts, sharing feelings, connecting with anyone who's listening. Someone is calling, asking if we're afraid. Yes, I'm afraid. Absolutely terrified. But I'm still here, still broadcasting, still fighting in the only way I know how. Fear doesn't make you a coward. Giving in to fear does. Acting in spite of fear makes you brave. So I'm trying to be brave, trying to be strong, trying to be what people need me to be. And even though I'm falling apart inside, it's 5:02 p.m., less than an hour until sunset, less than an hour until they attack. Emily is crying, quietly, trying to hide it. But I can see, I can hear. I want to comfort her, want to tell her it's going to be okay. But I can't lie, not now, not at the end. So I just hold her, just be here with her, let her know she's not alone. That's all I can offer, all anyone can offer at the end. Presence, connection, humanity. It's 5:44 p.m., the sun is touching the horizon, orange and red and beautiful, the last sunset I'll ever see. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Strange how beauty can exist even in the midst of horror. The infected are moving now, actively, purposefully, heading toward the building, toward the doors, toward us. Here they come, this is it. Emily is with me at the microphone. We're both here, both broadcasting, both facing this together. I'm telling everyone listening, we're about to be attacked. This might be our last transmission. But we're not sorry, we're not regretful. We chose this. We chose to stay. We chose to keep broadcasting. And we'd make the same choice again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for maintaining your humanity in the face of horror. Survive, please, survive. Live for those of us who won't. Build something better from the ashes of this nightmare. Don't let this be the end. Let it be a beginning. A chance to start over, to do better. We believe in you. We believe in humanity. We believe that even in the darkest times we can find light. This is Stephen Reed, signing off from 9148 FM. Emily is here with me. We're not afraid anymore. We're ready. Goodbye. Good luck. God bless. The sun is down. The sounds are starting. Breaking glass. Splintering wood. They're in the building. Emily is squeezing my hand. I'm squeezing back. We're okay. We're together. That's all that matters. The sounds are getting closer. Coming up the stairs. Getting louder. This is it. This is the end. But we're not running. Not hiding. We're facing it head on. We're broadcasting until the very last moment. Until they break through that door. And they're here. The door is breaking. Emily is screaming. I'm screaming. This is Stephen Reed. This is night. We're still here. The signal cuts to static. Silence. Then nothing.
Nothing but the empty frequency, the dead air. The end of the broadcast.
91.48 FM is off the air. The city is dark. The infected have won. And somewhere in the night, in the ruins of civilization, a few survivors huddle in the darkness, listening to static, hoping for a voice that will never come again. Hoping for a miracle that won't arrive. Hoping for salvation that doesn't exist. The apocalypse is complete. The world is ended. And all that remains is silent.